Hello, good evening, and welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle, and I'm just here to do the books that I read for July. These are all the books and the readathons that I did in July. I did four. Two were on Facebook, and two on mostly one was on on YouTube. Alrighty, so first readathon I did was Book Junkie Trials. And the first book I read for that was book Running Away and Leaving Me. The Cruel Prince by Olive Black. It's about two young girls who were raised by fairy folk, and they were moved to fairy folk after their parents were killed by their stepfather, if you could call him that. And lots of fairy folk were mean to them, very mean. And one sister decided that she wasn't going to take any more shit. That's right. And she figured out a way to get back at them, and in the end she became a kingmaker. Yep, that's Cruel Prince, and it's a very popular book on BookTube right now. So yeah, that's my opinion of The Cruel Prince. Next book up is Reaper. Let me say I'm putting it right. Reaper by Kyra Liege. This young lady was very sad, and one night she was on her way home and she saw a dog, and she was trying to help the dog. And lo and behold, the next thing she knows, she wakes up in a place that looks like a hospital, only to be told that she was dead. She had been raped. So in order for her to maybe return to this world that she was not ready to leave, she has to go back and reap 3 souls. So that's where the tale goes. My third book was The Rat and the Dawn. I really love this. I sat up in the night and really got into this one. Really good. Khalid Khalid, the Caliph of the land of Khorasan, marries the young girls, and the next morning he has them killed. So Shahzad decided she would volunteer and marry the Caliph and figure out a way to kill him. That is her plan. But when she gets there, she meets somebody that she cannot reconcile as being the monster that she thinks he is. And this story follows their coming to a kind of understanding of each other, valuing each other, and she in turn figure out how not to die the following morning, because once he marries to you, the next day you're dead. That might sound terrible, but that's how it is. My fourth book was Theorem, the Imperium Trilogy, Book 1. This is a tale of 2 queens. The world will fall, 2 queens will rise. One queen was Riel. She was the first queen. She's the fire queen. The second queen was Elian. I'm so bad with these names. Elian. And I liked Riel's story the best, because Riel, she's the one who went through all the trials. But Elian is more ardent. She's like a real bitch anyway. But I like Riel's story better. I like this series. I love the world that she's crafted, and it was very well done. I'm gonna pick up the other book. It's already out. And the final book that I read for Book Junkie Trial was by Neil Gaiman, Stardust. I don't have the book here to show you. I'll try and insert the picture here. Alright, on to my next readathon that I did. The next readathon I did was Christmas in July, where I read one Christmas book. I'm trying to find it here. I thought I had it right here. Alright, I must have misplaced it. It's a Janet Daily book, and I'll try and insert the picture up here also. No, I don't need to do that, because here is the book. Because I am, with my movement self, I move it around. This was done with my Facebook group, Seasons of Reading, and it's to read any one or more Christmas book over the period of the readathon. And I read this one. This is about, it's The Future Looks Merry and Bright. A young lady who was adopted has returned home to find her mother, and when she came back, she found that her mother is in the jail, and she actually, this sheriff took her to the jailhouse and she met her mother there, but she came back with a plan to improve their lot, and this is the tale of how that goes. It's also, as you know, Janet Daily writes romance, so this is a romance between the town sheriff and the young lady that came back there. Alright, the next readathon I did was The Reading Rush, formerly Book Tubathon. And in no particular order, here are the books I read for that readathon. I Flippin' Love You by Eleanor Hunting. It's about flipping houses and falling in love. And that's my description. Sandra Cisneros. This is The House on Mango Street. This is a lovely tale of all the people who live on a particular street, as told by Miss Cisneros. They were her neighbors, and she, crafted a little story about each of them, and giving you some background information of where they came from, how they ended up where they ended up, and the things that happened during their daily life. So I like this. I really enjoy this little book. Isaac Asimov, I, Robot. No relation to the movie. None to me. This book had no relation to the movie. I was so confused when I was reading this book. I was like, but this doesn't have anything to do with it. This is not the... but I guess it was telling us the beginning about how robots came to be robots in that particular world. Otherkin. This is the read an author's first book, and I really enjoyed this book. This is a young girl who spontaneously changed into a tiger for the first time, and on her journey to figure out where she came from, how why she's able to turn into a tiger, and figure out what's going on in her life as usual. Romance ensues. She meets a lovely young man, and romance ensues, and there's fighting, and hunters are on their trail. So yeah, Otherkin. There's another book in the series that if and when I can, I might try and pick it up. Lindsay Sun, Runaway Vampire. This is an ingenue vampire series. It's vampires who meet their mates, and they're normally able to control their human beings with their mind, but they can't control whenever they meet their mate. They can't control their mate. Their mate also run the spectrum from being 20-year-olds to 50, 60 years old, as old or as young as it is. There's always romance. Sometimes it's romance between a 60-year-old and a hot young man, which this one is. But when everything is said and done, they will work out perfectly. The vampire, Jean, does something awesome for the mate, whichever it may be, man or woman, and improve their life. Final book in that readathon was My Sister Lives on the Mantelpiece. This book dealt with sadness, loss, and the repercussions of the events around the loss. Sometimes families stay together, sometimes families break apart, sometimes the children cling tighter to each other. And the author dealt with this serious occurrence really well. This was our first book, and I thought she did a really, really lovely job on it. As it says, but David Tennant, I couldn't put it down. That was so true. David Tennant is the award-winning star of Doctor Who. He also read this with, and he gave it a write-up, a review. It was really, really, really good. It's not a big book. It's an easy little read. So if you ever see it, pick it up. It's very good. Very, very good. The final book I read for Reading Rush was Monstrous. And I'll insert a picture of it over here. So thank you for watching my wrap up for July. These are all the books that I read for July, for the several different readathons that I took part in the month. And be well, be blessed, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy your life. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Be kind. Thank you for watching.